Let me start it. Okay. Should be able to see my screen now.
Yep, I can see it.
Actually, there's an even better option for this. The only thing you need my screen for is if we're watching, like, if I need to show you something specifically, but we run it through, like, so you have the same time frame. So you can watch on your screen, and then if I need to tell you to watch on my screen, then you can just watch on my screen. So I'll link you this. So just join that room, and then we'll just play it from there. Like say, oh, I have
Alright,
something to show you on my screen, so I'll pull it up. Like if there needs to be anything like paint, if I need to draw circles or some shit.
gotcha.
I'll buffer the video real quick. Okay. Okay.
Alright, I'll just mute that
Yeah,
link.
make sure it's muted. Okay, starting. Game starts 1 minute. Okay. Who's your lane opponent?
Yasuo.
Okay,
I started 4 pots in the cloth for longer sustain
that's
rather
fine.
than the.
Shield 1 would be a good suggestion too. Uh, Only reason why is because it gives you healing like in itself, but cloth is also fine. Cloth only goes to Tabby or Zanya's or Seeker's Armguard or something. You get a benefit from whatever you purchase, but uh, if you're gonna run, hmm, if you're into Masters, should still be fine. Let me see.
I changed to electrocute. I think most of the others were the same.
Let's see. Uh, Trying to do is let me go up real quick. Okay, found it. There it is. So it should be Reg Solo. Okay, no, that's not the one.
I think it was a 16 and 9 just passed. I think it was that one. It was 32 minutes. It had Udyr in it. That one right there. The top win. 10-4.
Oh, 10-2, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you have Electrocute. I'd say you can go, if you're gonna go Sorcery, uh, nah, these are the only good ones, there's nothing else.
Now I get pushed in pretty hard here by Yasuo and almost die, but I think that was just my bad playing.
Focus on minions, not on trading. The reason why you get pushed in is because he's using his Q to push the wave, and you're just focusing on hitting him. Like at the beginning, right, this is a lane where you don't usually typically win till 6. So what you need to do is try to hit that 6 as soon as possible. So instead here, like you don't even Q or auto the minion. You just attack it twice and you just leave it. Okay, you dodge the Q. That's great. So return Q either on him, which doesn't do anything because he has shield. So instead, just attack. Just attack minions. You keep wanting to hit him, and then you lose the trade. And then if you had Doran shield, you would be able to get free sustain off of that. And then again, you're just letting him bully you around. And there's a minion like right there that you can hit, and then you ignore it, and then he attacks you. And all he has to do is flash auto you, and you die. Like, why? Just let it attack. You don't even. You have another option, and you just let him push all the way to you, because he pushes faster than you. If you don't push fast enough, then you let him push to you. Like, just recall, and if you stay, you lose. You pop 2 pots. Yeah, you stay. You have to stay now, because you're wasting 50 gold if you don't.
Yeah, this actually turns out really good for me.
I mean, Q to attack the minion if you can't last hit it with an auto attack. Never miss out on gold. Just use your spells like that. Just don't miss the last hit.
Yeah.
Instead of pinging the ignite, focus on the game. Ping the ignite when you have downtime, aka when there's nothing down there. Or just type it when you have downtime, not when there's like 3 CS that was like getting attacked by tower. Skill up your E, good. Okay. Okay. Time Yasuo's flash since you have some downtime. You have like a little bit of time to just yeah, push like that and then just recall. Yep. Okay. Focus on farming. You want it back when the cannon wave is about to approach, so just push it as much as possible. Stop like dilly-dallying around. Okay, Vi's here. Now she gets all this EXP because you didn't push fast enough. Your lane opponent isn't Vi, you just need to shove. Or you can just leave half of it, that's cool too. Now she takes all of it, and then Yasuo gets a lane reset. You either shove all of it or you don't. So if you don't, it ends up bad for you because somebody either takes it or it's in a bad position. You should not have sold the, okay, I mean, I guess, but selling the potion doesn't really do anything. Instead, just the control word would have been enough, and then you just leave it. Maybe you get a shoe, and you just leave it.
No,
The refillable pot would have to be a next time purchase, not a this time purchase. And
okay.
the shoe would be used to dodge Yasuo Qs more often. And then you can also use it to chase the dude further, because it's very unlikely that he will buy boots. Yeah, so he has to rush his Phantom Dancer Zeal stuff, so like he will not buy boots, so you can outchase him. Take the minions. Don't look at your opponent. Like, you don't need to worry about him unless he makes a mistake like that. Like, focus on the minions. You already fucked up your own wave. And you're so busy trying to kill the guy that you're not really focusing on your own fucking camps. Like, don't ping the guy back
Yeah,
if you're gonna
that was
fucking,
an accident.
like, don't ping the guy back when you don't even focus on your fucking minions at all. He also does it on accident because, yeah, it's like bird form, it's whatever, or it's phoenix form. That's fine. Keep it there. If you keep it here, aka freezing it against the melee champion, when you have complete dominance over the lane, it gives you even more command, because when he dashes, he has to dash forward. He doesn't dash backwards. See how he dashes forward? He leaves himself more vulnerable to ganks. Don't touch the minions if it's in this position. It's only in this position because like Udyr was there to like cover for it first. And that he pushed it. If you leave this every single time, it like comes out as a favor for you. That's why you want it here. Like you want it where you're seeing it. And then it's gonna build up, and then you can dive him at 6. Because he has no flash. There's no point in harassing him. You need to freeze the wave. Every time you hit him, the minions will aggro you, and you lose the trade, even if he doesn't hit you back. So you out CS him by like not even fighting him, and that's how it should always be against matchups that are like double melee. You just out CS them, and you out damage him too. Okay, that's pretty clean. You don't need to go any further. You just need to farm the wave. You're almost 6. Just be patient. Okay, you're 6. Get your energy back. How are you gonna get your energy back? Well, you just gotta wait it out, because there really isn't any other way, to be honest. I don't think there's any other way. Okay, watch for the tornado. You're fine now. If he don't let him bait it, because if he gets you another knockup, which is like whenever. Okay, this is fucking. Okay, he's 6. Don't do it.
Ah, I hit the freaking turret.
Now remember, he can only go forward. Pop your refillable pot again. Queue up the second one. You can kill him. Ignite. Just ignite. What? Just ignite. Yeah. Should have killed him way sooner. Then you have to wait to pull the wave towards you. And then sit out there. Try to last hit everything. Should be able to get them all. Okay. It would be a good idea to leave it like this, because it's a cannon wave. So like it's completely fair right now. The wave is completely even. But if you want to shove, you gotta use all your spells. Like your ulti included. Because these ulti stacks aren't like 50 million second cooldown like fucking Shen ulti or Karthus ulti or some shit. Just use them to push the wave. This wave is gonna crash into his tower. Tower's gonna tank 7 hits. By the time everything crashes up, you're gonna get 2 waves of CS. That's fine. But if you're gonna push, you should have pushed faster. Because now it's gonna look uneven. Like it's gonna be just outside his tower, and if he shows up, he can get some CS. It's not like that bad for him if he's fast. So he's like right there. So now he can farm that wave, and he can farm the next. If you were just focused on last hitting, he would be equal with you. He's focused on killing your ward instead of last hitting. That's actually really bad. But now you know that it's warded there, so you should ping like the new it's warded ping on that little section. And then just focus on hard farming. Like, you don't have to even kill this dude. If you kill this dude, then you kill the dude, but farming should be your utmost priority.
Normally it is. The way I generally do the farming, like in the middle of the lane, is if there's no last hitting that I can do, I'll go for a trade.
That doesn't make any sense. If you go for a trade and you can't, just because you can't last it, that means your opponent gets money and you don't. And even if they take a bad trade, they just sit back and play passive and use long range abilities. And you just sit there and like, oh, can't farm. You don't have, like, there's never an instance where you kind of just sit there and wait, except for just now, because it was coming towards your tower. You don't even have to fucking fight. Like, you just sit back and relax and just wait for a last hit opportunity and use your Q to last hit. This champion is a scaling champion. She kicks ass for a reason.
I think that was, yeah, that was a
It
little
lags a
lag.
little bit. It's fine. I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I've been catching some weird lag here recently.
I see your frames. It's fine. I can like process what's going on. Okay, go on the Soraka. No, on the Raka. She's the healer, dude.
Yeah, that was bad
She's
play.
a fucking healer. Like, she's the most critical. If you ever play bot lane, she's the most important champion that you have to kill first. There's no point in going on a Yasuo. He didn't even get hit by the center of the stun. It's fine. Good stealth. Now Soraka's back at full HP when you had a good opportunity to execute her right away. You kill her, you get 1 extra stack, you drop my Yasuo immediately. He has no heal. Also, Soraka can silence. If she silences you and you were trying to go for Yasuo, you can't do anything other than auto attack. Because you have Hextech, your abilities deal more damage than your physical autos at that moment. Don't talk. Like, don't type. You have no right to type when you misplayed it. How is that Ezreal's fault that you couldn't kill the Soraka? Once again, I have to
No,
tell you this. Oh, but Ezreal wasn't here, so? You couldn't kill Soraka. They rotated sooner because they rotated sooner. That's on them. That's you adapt to it. How? Make the best of the situation. You can't fault Ezreal for not being there when he chose to get lane priority down bot lane, something that you seem to struggle with. You don't even have lane priority and you're flaming him for not being there. Like, let him get his own lead. Let him play his own game. You play your own fucking game. If Udyr says, "Oh, damn, that was my bad," he's just faulting his own error. Let him do that. That's fine. I was too aggressive. My bad. That's cool. I would say it's okay. Like, it's no big deal. You can't fault Ezreal for that. Now he shows up. What is he gonna do? He's just gonna auto attack and Q minions. Great. Maybe he ults the wave to push it out, let it prevent, like, prevent tower damage coming in. But that's not his fault. He's at 47 CS with, I think he's running Klepto, which is like the most optimal. He's running Klepto and Precision, that's for sure, because that was Precision. He has Tyr and Sheen. That's really good for him. And then he can only get stronger, and once he gets Triforce and Metamune, he's actually like into the game again. Then he goes back down. He can either go back to base, cash in the gold that he got from bot lane, or farm. But that was on you because you couldn't kill Soraka. Soraka's always a priority target. She's super squishy. She's immobile. All she can do is cast a silence on herself, in which case you just try your best to move out of it, and then you can W onto her because she can't escape. She flashes, you have your ulti to chase her. You have 3 stacks on it. You kill her, you get 1 stack back, you drop on Yasuo immediately after. How does Yasuo knock you up? If he has double tornado, but he wasn't prepped for it. Plus, when you go in on the Soraka, you kill the Soraka fast enough. Like, you have enough damage. She's still there. You just can't dive her because she can silence on floor. If you want to dive her, you want to consider that, like, other people are there to kill you before you even come close. Okay, E, good. Auto, good, good. Let it crash, and then make your play off of that. Ward the left side. Because top, or Garen, I mean, just ping Mia. Okay, Riven showed up. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You don't have to worry about anything because Vi is going in. Vi's gonna have to punch the Udyr. Just press R Vi if she's gonna try to kill anything. Okay, if you have a control ward, place it towards the right side because you want to get dragon control. Your teammates already have a good position there. Okay. Stealth. Right here is a good opportunity to focus frontline, but these two are already dealing with this, so it's better to kill this because their eyes are on here, but not on you. So it's better for you to go to Lucian. If you see Soraka, you also go on Soraka. You're a frontliner. You're not a backline mage. This is okay, but the better option is go for him. Also, simply because you see this right here, like you knew Garen was coming if you saw it on the map. Like I saw he was coming. So then he comes in for flank. He silences Garen, and then Garen silences Yasuo. That's a really good stun. Jump on whoever. It doesn't matter. You get a reset either way. Just kill him. Take tower, take dragon, and then stop. Then recall.
I think we do take dragon off this.
Well, you have to take this tower first. Guarantee that you get this tower. Good. Now you take dragon. You can shove the wave if you want. Doesn't matter. You don't really want to target the wave. Ping the dragon. Ping a fuck ton of on my way pings to the dragon. Dragon's the better call. If you guys get this, it's even more worth it. But I would say the safest bet, which is low risk, low reward, is the dragon.
Yeah, I think we do get this.
This is a risk because you have people that can like try to answer it. Riven didn't answer. Riven didn't answer it. You just have to assume because Riven's Mia, she answers it. You always kind of assume like the worst possible situation would happen. So to respond, you take the least possible risky situation, which is the dragon. And the reason why this one's also a risk is because you guys are sitting on a fuck ton of gold. And if they even thought about answering you right now down here, you would be all dead. Team fight would go in their favor because they all just purchased. So that is a very risky call. It works out in the end. That's fine, I guess. It'd be better for you to take the free ones in the first place. Second, you can also greed for the wave down bot lane so that it doesn't crash into your tower. I mean, your team responds to it, that's good, but you could have taken it yourself and then can get your items sooner. Because you got a 1v9 this game, pretty much. Like Yasuo can also 1v9.
Udyr actually goes ham as fuck on this game.
Anybody can answer the fucking wave down bottom. If you answer the wave down bottom as Akali, it's good for you because nobody can duel you, truly. Like they may come close, kill this Soraka. Stealth in so they can't see you go on the Raka. Don't go on.
I steal the Herald.
Don't bother the Herald. The Herald is also a fighter. Like you know that. Like it's a 2v3. Take out the champions. This is a waste of your efforts. Like you can get the Herald after you die for this. Okay, you kill the Soraka first. Because one, she shows herself. So what you do is you get into the bush. That's the first and foremost thing. So that like they don't know where you're coming from. So she starts backing up because she's like, shit, there's an Akali here. I have to run. So she's gonna silence you. If you bubble down towards this, if you bubble diagonally left, right? That means that she doesn't know what to silence. She'll probably just silence the whole bubble overall. Therefore, getting closer to the bubble to silence, then you jump on her. So she silences here. Either way, you still have to stealth at some point. So as soon as you stealth, you jump on the Akali. You don't need to jump on the fucking Herald. It's not going to die that fast if you pay attention to the Herald. It doesn't have its eye. But if it does have its eye, if they get it, it's no big deal if they get the fucking Herald. You jump on the Soraka, you kill the Soraka. If after you kill the Soraka, the Herald is still alive, you may jump on the Herald. You have full stacks again because you went from 3 to 2. And then you kill Soraka, you go back from 2 to 3. And then you jump onto either Yasuo or the Herald. You get the Herald, you get the Soraka, and you get Yasuo. Yasuo, like it's like you don't know how important this Soraka kill is at all. Now she flashes. Okay, so she has flash. So if she ran upwards and she flashed towards her teammate, you can stop pursuing, then go back onto the Herald. But Yasuo would be so far away from Soraka that Soraka doesn't have the opportunity to heal the Yasuo. So you kill one person, and you threaten another person's life, and you take the Herald, and then you can get out scot-free. Because you don't pursue the Soraka if you see that she's running closer and closer to her teammates. You stop and then you take the next best option. If you keep going for the Soraka, you die. If you go for the Herald, you have a chance to get the Herald, but you also have a chance to kill the Yasuo. Take that option instead. You kill the Yasuo and the Herald, what's next? Look at the map. Oh shit, they're coming for me because they saw me kill Yasuo. It doesn't look like I can escape. You do your best to escape. Also, other option, you should have backed a long time ago instead of going straight for the Herald. You can't be sitting on more than 1,200 gold. It's just too much. You could have cashed in. This is like so many times that I've seen this, but you could have cashed in. You could have gotten your Gunblade before even coming close to the Herald and fight with Gunblade. So you ulti the Soraka with the Gunblade, right? And then you jam it, like you proc the active on her, and then she's slowed. She flashes, panic-wise, and then like she's still slowed, so you can catch up to her. You can kill her fast and then swiftly get out. You have a lot more opportunities if you cash in sooner. So when I said for you to take mid, then take dragon, then go bottom, you push out that wave. That gives you an opportunity to back, ignoring what your team did mid lane. So you guys got a second inhib turret. Like that doesn't do anything now. Like you guys got that that middle turret, that second tier inner turret, and nothing has been done off of it. So you could have just not taken it and then take the two objectives for free plus bot lane, taken a free Hextech Gunblade, and still been just as much of a threat as you are now. But it would have been safer, and you would have had more kills. I mean, you have to kill this guy. If you kill this guy, you got to kill him fast. Yeah, just kill him fast. Don't waste your Gunblade on it. Just kill him fast, because you got to go mid ASAP. This is ridiculous. No, push your wave first. If you want to summon, you want to use Herald at like a strategic. This isn't a strategic time to call out the Herald. A more optimal time would be to wait for Dragon, but you have to check Dragon timers for that. If you check out Dragon timers, then you see that like Dragon's coming close. You spawn the Herald close to Dragon, because then they lose Dragon and they lose Herald at the same time. They lose towers and they get threatened by Herald at the same time while you're doing Dragon. So they're on edge, basically. But doing this here, like it works now because your teammates like doing an assault like towards mid, but you can also shove it mid, and you guys could do 5-man mid. I mean, like, just jump on this guy, I guess. You're out of energy. Never mind.
I think off of this
Another
Herald
option
we
is
get.
drop it bottom, by the way. If you drop it bottom, like it also it walks all the way to bottom, and then this giant wave ramps up with it, so you get a third tower. It's that's another thing. You want to drop it where your opponents can't answer, and you want to take something out of it. I mean, like you get like 3 towers off of this, but like you want to. I thought it would be better for you to group mid because you have a lot of more kill opportunity and you have a lead. You want to use your lead. Right now you have a huge lead, but you can't fight. You need to recall. So this is where you would recall, and then you would still deploy the Herald, because you just maximize on your lead right here. Sure, you get 2 towers, but it really doesn't do much. So here I would recall. This is a very, very far back for some reason. You shouldn't have gone that far. Like, no, stop. Just recall, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. You need to recall. You have 1,700 gold sitting on you. That's huge. That's Seeker's Arm Guard to prep for any threat of AD, which is basically a majority of their team. Their top laners, yeah, they're all AD. You should get Seeker's Arm Guard and rush into Zanya's. Stopwatch included. Well, not stopwatch if you have a lot of money, but like you get the idea. Like you should be rushing into Zanya's. You have so much gold right now. This is not right. Now they're all Mia, and then they're all threatening you, but you can just get away. Just recall. You have a lot of gold. It's Zanya's is 2,900. Don't kill him. You could, but like it's not worth it. They're all Mia. Go towards Zanya's. Yes. I would have gone for the Codex first. Because Stopwatch doesn't really... Like, actually, it only saves you against one thing. It's the Vi ulti. If Vi decides to focus you during a team fight, and you get knocked up even for a second, Yasuo goes on you, you're chain knocked up, and then they silence you, you cannot escape. You have to be able to stopwatch the Vi ult, so that, I guess that's fine. Never thought about how well their team comp synergizes. They have every way to stop. They have every way to synchronize with Yasuo ult, except for Lucian and Raka. So bot lane can't do anything. But if jungler thinks about like even coming close to getting on you, like any thought of getting onto you, you gotta be able to stopwatch it. It's a one-time thing, but if it can make or break like a Baron or a fucking Fire Drake or some shit. It's Ocean Drake, but like if it were a Fire Drake and they chose to like, oh, let's pick her off, then you should be ready to stop watching. Like you have to understand like what happens if you die, and like you're huge. So if a huge person with all these resources and damage dies, like it spells trouble for your team, because they're nothing without you, sorta. Like they're actually kind of strong without you right now, but in different scenarios, you have to realize how strong you are and what your worth is to the team if you die. That's why she's better as a mid laner than a top. Gotta use your stealth. Okay. Ooh, it's clean. What? Just flash alt E. You die.
I think I do here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stopwatch is also available. Your team is also behind you, so if you stopwatch for 2.5 seconds, it allows them to do that.
I'm
Like
still trying
allows
to get
them to
used to that
follow up.
stopwatch.
Just treat it as if you had a mini Zanya's. It doesn't deal damage. It does nothing. It's a 600 gold Zanya's. Top lane is pushing. You gotta answer. Make sure you buy your Codex. It's 10% CDR that's free for you.
I think I actually buy Zanya's flat out, yeah.
Oh, okay, you have enough gold for it, then you're fine. Always gotta answer the waves. Make sure no waves are always crashing, or no waves are thinking about crashing into your tower. If they crash into your tower, you lose an objective for free, and you never want to lose things for free, because that's just not fair. That gives them comeback potential. Like even like a single percentage is still a detriment. You're supposed to deny your opponents and like crush them completely, like gold wise, resource wise, and like mentally. This isn't like working out. Like as in like you're not able to maximize or not maximize. You're not able to minimize your opponent's gold gains if you don't take if they take that tower. So since they aren't taking that tower, that's fine. You see a fight happening bottom, you can look at the map. Like stop focusing on your fucking farm. Look at what's happening down there, dude. Like you need to know if you can come or not. Now that they're all dead, you can't really make that choice anymore. What the fuck? Like you see like 5 people on the map and 4 people on your side of the map, and you decide, oh, cool, hold up. Let me get my E. Let me get my Q auto. Let me get my other W. No, dude, like look at your team. See if you need to flank them. See if you need to join them. Like if they're four here, if there are four standing and it's like a normal fight, see if you need to flank fight and assassinate the carries, or join and attack the front line, then attack the back line. Like you don't know what's going on because you're not looking. And that's
I actually
huge.
did see that, but I figured they'd be alright.
No, you can never figure. You can't rely on them to be on right. That's not a good way of thinking. Just because you guys are ahead in the game doesn't mean that every single player is equally ahead nor good enough to be strong enough to survive or smart enough to survive a team fight. What if a Vi ulti gets on someone? You can't say that they're all right because all they have to do is just chain, like I said, the pick combo. If all 5 were there and there is a Vi, Yasuo will just like chain CC them everything. If a flash Riven Q, like anything can happen. You don't know what's gonna happen because you're not looking. So now they're getting on Baron, and they get off Baron. All right. So top lane is pushing, bot lane is pushing. Bot lane is ramping against you. You should probably answer bot lane. Better person to answer bot lane would have to be Garen because he has teleport. You need to send someone bot lane and type while you're
Uh,
running, not like while you're standing at base. You're at full HP. You should already be moving somewhere. I said bot lane, and the only reason why I said that is because you see that giant red blob down there, and that red blob indicates that there's a massive creep wave ramping up against your side of the map or for the opposing tide, and you never want that to happen. Don't just ping it, answer it.
I think I
Stop pinging
do.
it, dude. Just press tab and like see if anybody has teleport. You can ask Garen to do it. If he doesn't want to do it, then you be the one to answer it. Just keep watching the fight. You don't need to watch yourself CS. Just keep watching the fight. You need to see if summoners are blown. You need to see if ultimates are blown. You need to see that if you came at that time, what can you truly do knowing that certain players' cooldowns are down. So for example, if Vi ulti is down, then like, oh, you can go all in because there's nothing to disable you. If Vi just used your Q, it should be on cooldown for X amount of seconds. You can use that. I don't see anything. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I never thought about that. Like, actually looking for who's got what and.
Well, you're not looking. You're not looking at your team at all. You're just like it's solely depending on them. You're playing a champion that relies on killing your opposing like target. Like you're playing a champion that's basically an assassin, and you can't assassinate someone without knowledge. It's like in a movie they give like here's how you assassinate them. You watch their movements. It's like okay, here's what he does on a day-to-day basis. I'll kill him when he like takes a drink when he's at a coffee or something. But you don't know what they're doing right now. You don't know if any ultis are up. You don't know if any cooldowns are up. You don't know if Lucian has heal, Lucian has flash. You don't know if Vi has ulti or not. Okay, now she has no ulti because you just saw it. So now that you know Vi has no ulti, you can stealth in right here and go for it, or you could just flash in again. Yes. Better call is Baron. You push this wave, you could take it and take inhibitor, or you could just go take Baron, reset, and everybody go charges in. But either way, it's both their calls are right calls. Since they're already here, you take inhibitor. You take 2 inhibitors for free. You reset,
Yep.
everyone buys, go Baron. But you should be if you're gonna reset and go buy Baron, the first thing you should do is charge the fuck at Baron, drop your control ward, get out of the Baron pit, and then sweep around the map. Just get it and leave. You can attempt to assassinate him if you
Hang
wish,
on.
but the better option is not.
Is there any way that one passenger side back, I mean, driver side back seat, you could clean out? That way I carry Kim up here to emergency room, have them look at her because she's hurt and I want to make sure she ain't going into labor. And
I can do that.
possibly going to the bathroom and stuff.
I'll be right back. Wife thing.
It's only been 5 minutes and she's come back on the floor.
Small bladder.
Look, make sure she's not already.
Holy fuck, this guy does not know how to mute his fucking mic.
Probably just heard me.
Like, there's a button on fucking Discord, just mute your fucking mic, dude. Jesus Christ. I'm really hungry, holy shit.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Not a problem. Alright, so continuing on. So since you're here, you should have dropped your control ward right over the wall. Because you need to scout for Baron. The enemy team, there's this concept called doing an exit Baron. Basically what this means is your team has to recall. They can't fight at Baron because you guys are sitting on the, like, your amount of gold is the representative of the similar amount of gold that your team has. Like, you have a dead Garen that has, like, he just cashed in. You have an Udyr, Ezreal, and Leona that need to cash in, right? And you gotta cash in. You got 1,700 gold. So drop your control word here to scout for Baron to see if there's one, any vision on it, and two, if they're gonna like do an exit Baron. You must all leave. You see Ezreal and Leona doing like exiting the like right now. That's called this is called an exit Baron. Right here, this is where the enemy team takes an opportunity to do Baron. Like it is possible, it exists, but not a lot of people do it because it's really risky. And their jungler shows bottom, so now there's no chance of it happening. But you should still commit to doing a full recall. No time to make picks. Instead, just go buy your items. Next thing you do is you charge bottom. Because mid and top will automatically ramp on their own, even if you're not there to help it ramp, right? And you just push bottom, because then they can't answer everything at once, and you win without even taking Baron. Or you take Baron, right? First of all, you kill this guy, that's fine. You really need to cash in, though. You take this Baron, and then you just fucking recall. You can recall now, it's a really fucking late recall. And Udyr needs to recall too, so you guys exit. And then you answer bottom, you charge bottom, you ramp up in the entire wave, or you do 1-3-1, where you send one person top, three people mid, and one person bot, and you just end the game that way. W, nice. Kill this guy. Soraka dies. Okay. No more vision control. There's no risk of it being stolen. It's guaranteed to go to you guys. You always want to increase your probability of doing Baron, no matter how like behind or ahead you are. Like the enemy team can, if they steal it, like there is a close unquote, there is a chance that it gets close to a comeback. Like 1% increase in comeback potential. It happens. Like I stole Baron and we won a game off of that, and I went like 0-12 as J4, but I had like 42 assists. It was like the longest game of my life. But I stole Baron and that started it. But it happens. Like I was like 0-6 at the beginning because I made like bad plays. But like it happened. Like the next 0-6 that I did ended up me being like dying for like no reason, and like eventually I stopped dying. It happens. Like there are comeback opportunities that they can take. So see how Riven has to answer that, and then what the fuck? I don't know why Soraka's answering it. And then Yasuo has to answer that. The most optimal place to attack is bottom. So you already hitting here is like the correct thing to do because there's no other place to go. So this is fine. You need to all be here and all on the same page. If the rest of your team doesn't want to follow, you be the leader and say just do a bunch of request assist me pings, and put on my way pings. Do a lot more of the on my way pings because then it signals your team that this is your goal. If you're saying I'm on my way to flank, you just ping a bunch of on my ways and you ping them like behind the team, like the enemy team. Then like they'll think it's a flank. Like they might not think it's a flank, but you're signaling that you're on your way to something, and like, oh, this guy wants to fight. You know, like they'll come to that conclusion once you're there and you're actually like doing shit, because you know these players are like pretty bad. But like you gotta like see how Ezra says I'm on my way, hold on, and then you look at the map and you see where he is, like okay, he's coming, so we gotta wait it out. And he's still on his way, like as you can tell, like on the map it indicates that he's still on his way, like en route to you, to your location. Stay closer, because all those minions are gonna die if you don't Baron empower them. You Baron empower the creeps and it takes them, like look how long it, like the tower kills them, but look how long it took the fucking Lucian and the Soraka and the Riven all to 3v1 that one minion. It took forever. So Baron empowered minions are huge. There's no way they can siege against you. Hence why standing one person top, one person mid, and three people bottom is like important, because then the Baron empowered minions are not stoppable by a single player. Okay, so all you gotta do is you gotta wait. You literally have to wait. You let your team do everything, and then just assassinate. Pick off whoever's close, mainly Soraka. Kill Soraka, good. Kill the next person. Okay, and then that's game. Just have to end it like right here. Kill the inhibitor, then kill any minions that are near mid or bottom. Okay, they're all dead, so you kill that, and then you just ram it in and just GG at bottom. Because this is the biggest wave. This is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I think I took what you said from this past weekend about buying more control wards and placing them down. I think I bought 14 this game.
Did you really? That holy shit.
Yeah, I
Six.
bought a shitload.
Yeah, you bought a lot. So it's not just placing them willy-nilly just to place them, but there's also times where your opponent like kills them. Note that when you place a control word and there's a word in it, like you know how you ping that word? Tip is that there are two things that can happen. First of all, check if your opponent has teleport. So if Riven is running teleport, which I think she should be, yeah. So if she's running teleport, she can still teleport to the ward, so destroy the ward. Let's say that Riven ran ignite. Don't kill the ward inside. What ends up happening is when you have a control ward and there's a regular ward in here, this all the control ward does is it denies vision. So there's a ward in here, they won't see it. Like there's just nothing but black space in here, and a null, and like they just get a control ward. They just get their regular ward with like 0 vision. You can put 50 wards in here, there's no vision. But if you attack the ward, it reveals that you're attacking it. So like if you drop a control word there and it's completely black and nobody touches anything, nothing's gonna happen. Like they're like, wait, there's a control word on that side, but they can't see anything else. They just know that on your side of the map there's a control word. You guys could be doing the Baron, but all they'll think is, oh shit, there's a control word in the Baron pit. So they go to it and then they attack the Baron pit, and then they realize, wait, they're doing Baron, and then you kill the dude, and he's like, oh shit, they're actually on Baron, guys, go. But if you kill the ward, right, he knows that you're there. Like the only reason he's able to attack you is because he saw you hit this. That's why he's able to cast his point and click Q on you. Had you not hit it, he can't do anything. Now that they have a clue that you're there, they'll drop another word, which briefly for a quarter second reveals all vision, then blinks out because control word kills it. So that's just a tip. Like you don't have to kill the ward. You can just drop a control word and it just blocks vision. Sweeper does the same thing. Just walking past it just denies vision completely. Turns that area as if there was no ward in there in the first place. Keep that in mind as you make your plays too. If you're looking to make like a pick like you did earlier on Yasuo. It is huge.
Buying the Dead Man's Plate, you think that was a good buy, or gone with like
no.
Randuin's Omen?
I think that the better buy would have been a Guardian Angel, and second, no, just a Guardian Angel. My justification on the Guardian Angel is 1, you're huge. 2, because you are huge. Like that is another thing. Like not just because you're huge, but like if you are huge, that means that players are more likely to focus you because you're so fucking big, and if they shut you down, you get shutdown gold. That's one thing. 2, if you have a GA, once they attempt to kill you, first of all, you Zhonya's. They're like, fuck, now I have to wait 2.5 seconds for her to get Zhonya's out. That gives you your team 2.5 seconds to A, follow up, or B, deal damage to the team comp. 3, you die. Now they have to wait for another few seconds for your GA to come up, and they're like, oh my god, and your team continues to deal damage. So you basically have 5 seconds of invulnerability. You follow? And because those 5 seconds are critical to them, because they're weaker, they'll be prone to die quicker to your team if your team is there. Now, if you die alone, and also that's just bad, because like, why were you there in first place if you're alone? You know. So, second, GA also gives you AD, so that kind of benefits you. You can build tank items like Deadman Plates is all right, but I think GA is better because it gives armor too. If you're going to build another armor item, Randuin's is a pretty good option. They do have champions that crit, Yasuo, Lucian. Not Riven, but like, you know what I'm saying. And if Vi builds Triforce, then she can also attempt to crit. Actually, no, Triforce doesn't build up Zeal anymore, so it doesn't apply. But Lucian and Yasuo, those are the champions that are the only ones that, quote-unquote, are a threat to you. They're just strong, like they have knockups and shit, and they just do what and auto attacks and shit like that. So nullifying their damage. Plus, everybody who gets close to you is kind of like they're melee range. So you press 2 or whatever button you want to drop a Randuin slow on them. So Randuin's would have been the better option. It costs the same as Deadman Plate, if I'm not mistaken. Plus, you see Soraka, right? She's far. You Randuin's her. It's harder for her to escape. You buy Randuin's and you buy a Rylai's. No escaping you at all. Like, there is no chance of anybody ever getting away from you. Plus, more durable. Like, basically, if you're ahead, build tankier. But don't be full tank, obviously. Like, if you're ahead, build, like, maybe 1 or 2 tanky items. Best option is GA for Akali. Because you want to keep your lead. If you die, you lose your lead. Because you give them money if you die. So having Zanya's, Rylai's, and Guardian Angel on your inventory, there's no way they can kill you. And if they do attempt to kill you, like it takes forever. Because it takes forever, your team has a chance to follow up or take an objective on the side. So even if you do die, something will hopefully be accomplished if you made the right decision and died correctly, aka in the right spot and not in the wrong spot.
When I build tankier-ish items, I generally do build the Rylai's and the Leandries just for the extra damage it gives and the slow. I actually
Yeah,
love building those, and if I
Leandry's
need some
isn't
kind of
necessary. Like Leandry's isn't that necessary. Like they don't have a tank that can really like it hurts them. Oh yeah, don't I'm not gonna like argue like yeah it doesn't do shit. No, it fucking eliminates. You kill Soraka in the blink of a fucking eye if you build the Leandries, but it's not necessary for the purpose that it serves in this specific game. And you always build adaptive to the game. You don't just like do a set in stone build, because building things set in stone kind of like it means that like let's say you have an all AD team comp and you build the exact same things against an all AP team comp. Now you die. Like there's no point. You gotta build adaptive based on every situation. So in this situation, I would say don't build like Leandries. Instead, Rylai's GA, and you still have a 6 item slot for a Void Staff. You could build Leandries as a final item, not necessary, but like it exists. Like I feel that Void Staff would be better because it's cheaper, so you get a power spike sooner. Plus it's percentage magic pen rather than flat. And also it's like because it's more costly. Like sometimes you don't feel like spending that much gold because you spent a lot of it already, so it's fine. I think Void Staff is also like overall always better like than an early Leandries. Leandries is more maximized if they have like a lot of health to back it up. Otherwise, it just doesn't really deal that much damage. However, with Rylai's, it does do 6%, so it's not that bad. Like almost every single time you should be buying a control word. Like at the beginning of the game, I saw that. Since this game is over, I can review that. So you bought a control word at the beginning of the game, but you sold your regular one single pot. So another option that you could have done is at the beginning you could have just bought cloth armor refillable and just left it as cloth armor refillable and never have to buy pots again. Refillable is also always like a really good option. You could also buy Dark Seal at level 1 and buy refillable and then leave it like that. You could buy Doran Shield and one pot, then recall early as soon as possible, buy refillable and run to lane. It's very unsafe to do so, but it does exist. But you don't need to sell your pot if you want to buy refillable. Just buy it later.
I didn't actually sell that pot because I used all 4 of the
I could have sworn you
initial
sold
ones.
the pot. Something happened. Like there was a pot.
I undid it. I
Oh,
bought it, then I undid that.
okay. I can't see if you did undid or not because that's weird. Let's see. Did you really? Let's see. So you bought because I could have sworn you sold. Like you right click. It looked like you right clicked the pot rather than click and sell.
Yeah.
Oh, you did. You don't have no pots. The other thing I noticed is from your previous game, you use your pots unnecessarily. Like you already had it. Your Q auto attack replenishes your health. Treat that as a form of sustain towards you. Like don't just use your pots willy nilly. Like use your pots when you're forcing a trade too. Like if you're fighting the guy, and he is willing to trade back, because Yasuo wasn't really willing to trade back. He was just pushing the lane so that you have a harder time CSing.
Yeah, the first pot I
see,
used
okay.
in
Yeah.
case of a gank, and then I think the second and or third one I used by accident. Those were not intentional.
If you think
No, I
you
was
can
wondering-
kill the guy, by the way, kill him. If you think you can really kill him as fast as possible, kill him. Don't hesitate with the kills. Any hesitation gives it so that it gives a jungler an opportunity to come in. Like 3 seconds does matter. As much as people say 3 seconds doesn't really matter, it does matter. Every little bit counts. Every CS that you miss does add up, because then it means that you have to spend that much. You have to get that much CS more later on down the line to get an item that you could have gotten if you just got the CS. That's why CSing is so important.
What about? How do you feel about Spirit Visage on Akali? Because I've tried it
Better
before,
top
and
lane.
the
It's better
yeah,
in the
the
top lane.
sustain.
Yeah, it's good in the top lane, especially against heavy AP. I would build Merc Treads, and an alternative to Randuin's, I would build Visage, like straight. Just note that if they have like Executioner's Calling, which does exist as an item, you're kind of fucked, just like a little bit. It's fine. Alternatively, you could do Banshee's Veil, or you could just do Adaptive Helm. Adaptive Helm is like super important. That's pretty much it. Like, Adaptive Helm is also a good option. Adaptive Helm is usually used if they have like consistent damage dealers. Like, say you're up against a fucking Cassiopeia mid. Adaptive Helm is like absolutely perfect for her. Negates like a majority of her damage output for 4 seconds subsequently if she uses a fucking spell. Like, she uses her Q on you, then she E's you, you take no damage from the rest of her E's. Like, you can't heal, like, let's say you can't get close to them to heal, because you need to hit something to heal, you know what I mean? Like, you don't just heal.
Yeah.
So you gotta hit something to heal. So if you think you can hit your fucking target, then you get the Spirit Visage, otherwise take the Adaptive Helm. Adaptive Helm also, if I'm not mistaken, gives 10% CDR. Don't get Abyssal Mask. Do not ever get Abyssal Mask.
I was trying Abyssal Mask on Akali.
Abyssal Mask is the one that, if I'm not mistaken, gives the fucking... Yeah, that's it. Gives a fucking 10% CDR, and it's like the Rod of Ages. Yeah, it doesn't really work out.
Yeah, it gives some magic pin if they're within a certain range too.
Yeah. Yeah. So for your team,
Kinda
that's not beneficial at all. Like, you have nothing on your team that really benefits from that in this scenario. Like, if you think your team could benefit from it, and your opponent is that big of a threat, like, even though you're basically saying Adaptive Helm isn't enough, and I need my team to deal more magic damage, aka you have an AP top and maybe like a half AD AP mid laner, I mean bot laner, like Kog'Maw or fucking Corki, or like a little bit of AP, like a little bit more AP on Ezreal, like that kind of thing. Usually not necessary. Like, just don't like. You can build it, but I really wouldn't like recommend it. It's not really like that hyped up as an item.
Yeah, it's the old Abyssal Scepter.
Yeah.
Or the new, rather.
Yeah. Same thing. Whatever.
Yeah. Overall, much better game.
It's a lot more. It's a lot of improvement. Like, I see that you do buy control wards. I just don't think about like, oh, you bought a control ward, because like it's supposed to be natural for me to assume that you buy control wards in the first place. But I noticed that a lack of control wards was coming. It's not just a lack of control wards. Actually, in this game, it's just a lack of placing them in like positions where you think. So when you're ahead, place them in deeper spots. Don't just place them in here. Like, you could remove a regular ward there and put it, because like you're more likely to get ganked if you're strong in lane. That's just a bigger tip. Like, there's just like that, you know, that little tiny bush that's just there towards the riverside, down towards Dragon, but it also exists on the opposite side on Baron. You stood in there and killed Yasuo, like that little bush.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Let me find it in the part where you killed Yasuo. Like, where's the part where you picked the bitch off? Right here. So, think of this bush, but on the other side towards Dragon. You know where that? So you have an idea of what I'm telling you, right?
Yeah.
Do that and just drop a fucking control ward there. If you're ahead, if you're behind, don't bother. Because you can't get to an opportunity where you need to place one there if you're behind.
Would you say drop one in their jungle?
No, not in their jungle. It's easier for them to spot, because they'll just walk by it and just kill it for free. You can drop an ordinary ward in their jungle and see it over the ramp. Supports are usually the ones that place there. You could if you wish to, but like I wouldn't recommend it, because you're kind of traversing towards a dangerous territory. Because like if you walk in there and their jungler's fucking like able to gank you, then Yasuo just follows up. So it's 2v1. I mean, you do have a stealth and all, but Vi has point and click ulti. And if you're head pre-6, usually something wrong. Because, like, he should not let you push pre-6. That's why I said, if a guy is supposed to shove you into tower, like, as a champion, try to push a little bit ahead so that it stays even. The lane stays even. So, like, that's why I said I advocated for you pushing first. Because you know for a fact that this dude has the opportunity to clear your waves faster than you can. Because all he has to do is Q, Q, and then Q again, and then the whole wave is like fucked for you, right? Like, that kind of makes sense. So like that's Yasuo's like shtick. So like you kind of just play around that and fuck up the wave first, so that so it stays even. Killing Soraka, killing anybody, just like make sure you do Baron correctly. You gotta cash in more. If you have over like 1,000 gold, 1,200 gold, enough for a component or parts of components, cash in. Like, just recall and buy your items. You can't just sit on that much gold, because if you fight and you're sitting on that much gold, you could have won a fight. Like that kind of stuff could win you fights, because you cashed in sooner and you're stronger. You come into the lane as a more powerful force to be reckoned with, and you always want to be a powerful force to be reckoned with. You can't just like not, you know, like if you came in as a weak spot person but you're like actually strong, like it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. It's kind of what I like Akali. She's always a force to be messed with.
Yeah.
No matter what stage of the game, even
Yes.
from behind,
Yes.
she can one-shot.
Hence why you should cash in more often. Because if you're behind and you're not cashing in, like That means that a power spike that could be reached is not being reached at that appropriate time. Like if an Ezreal bought like an item that helps him survive, even like remotely, like for a little bit, then that could be used against you because you didn't cash in just yet.
Um,
Just
I've
watching
watched
video.
other coaching and like higher streamers, of course. They say if you can, like if you're strong enough to solo the little raptors or the chickens, take all the little ones
Oh
and leave the
yeah.
big one for your jungler.
Oh, leave the big one. Leave the big one for your give to your team. Yeah, yeah. Nice try. Nice try being nice. They're so funny, dude. No, take it all, dude. What? Take it all. The thing is, in this situation, there was never a time for you. Udyr just took all of them. Like I watched the map. Like Udyr always took them. Like there was no opportunity for you to do it. Also, you're shoved into your lane. In order for you to do something like that, you gotta shove out and then go. You know what I mean? Like, because if you're pushed into your tower and you do that shit, like you lose the creeps at your tower. And if you, and like Yasuo shows faster than you, there's a very low opportunity of that happening for you as Akali. I mean, it exists. You just take the Raptors, but you don't have to take just your Raptors. You can also take your opposing player's Raptors.
But
Makes
that's a little bit
sense?
more dangerous, though.
Yes. So that requires lane priority and of course a lot more control words on the map. So like if you have lane priority, which means you shove your opponent in, right? You can do that, but if you do that, you should know where your opposing jungler is. It's very rare that I will ever go into the enemy jungle, take the Raptors, and then come back. Especially as champions that can clear it fast, like Orianna or something. Like I won't do, I just won't do it because it's not the safer play. The safer play is to take my own junglers like CS. It's just that like I choose to do it when like I know I can take it for free and my jungler's not in position.
Okay.
So about leaving it on their own, like about leaving like just one for your fucking opposing. No, fuck that shit. Take it all, motherfucker. Hell yeah. Like think about it.
Solo
Think about it
kill.
on the opposing side. Do you just take all their camps and then leave the big one for the opposing junglers like to take? No, you take it all. So take it all on your guys too. What if the enemy what okay, so if the enemy comes and counter jungles, they get the whole camp for free and they get the big one for free. So and the best option for you to do is just take it all so that not only does your jungler like not lose it, like you get it cuz it goes towards your team, but if the enemy decides to counter jungle and they check that camp, there's nothing there for them to take. So they have to repath. But if it's there, then they take something for free. Even if it's not the whole camp, it's still a big chunk of EXP. So it's better that you get all the EXP than letting your opponent get it. I mean, if your jungler's there, like in front of you, and you decide to steal it, just don't do that. I mean, like that's just being a dick. Like, there's no point in stealing it if the guy needs the money. But if you're like 100 gold or something, then you like 100 gold away from something, you're good.
Okay.
Uh, Wolves are a bit more risky, and the reason why is because first of all, you can never take your opponent's wolves. Second, when you try taking your wolves, it's farther away from the mid lane. If you haven't noticed that, like it's a lot. So like you have to time it. Like you gotta push the fuck out of your lane, then go to it, and then get it, because it takes forever to get to the wolves compared to like the time it takes to get to the wolves is twice as long as it would take to get to the raptors. All you have to do is just ward your raptors and are over. But for wolves, you gotta walk all the way the fuck over there. Nobody just wards their wolves, you know, it's a waste of a ward. So you gotta actually physically be in front of the camp and get it. So timing wise, it's bad. And unless you kill it fast, like it's also bad. So I wouldn't recommend taking wolves unless you're really desperate for farm. You need to scavenge, as they call it. Otherwise, you're Gucci. Like, just take the Raptors, steal all the Raptors. Don't even bother fucking leaving one. Leaving one. Like, I've considered it, but I'm like, you know what? No, fuck you. Like, the fuck my jungler ever gonna do for me? Like, holy shit. You didn't get camped this game, like, at all. So that's
No, she
fine.
never ganked.
Yeah, she can't gank you because you allowed yourself to be pushed. Like, well, you didn't allow yourself to be pushed. Like, it just naturally pushed towards you because the guy just pushes faster than you. Kind of makes sense. Like, there's no way that you would ever be pushed. Like, you would never push against that Yasuo. There's just no way. It just doesn't make sense for him to shove it all the way over. Because like he's like, oh, I better freeze so that I can kill the Akali Priest. No, like he'll just shove you into tower so that you lose CS. I want you to focus more on CSing rather than trading unless it's absolutely free. Like, absolutely free. Like, the guy has no choice. And the best way to do that is if he uses a melee auto attack to, like, last hit or something, whack him back. Because it's more easier if you do it against someone like Echo. Because, like, he has to walk up and melee attack if he's not using his Q. If he's using his Q, just dodge it. You punish them for CSing because they can't stop their attack animation, otherwise they lose the CS. And same thing goes with you. You gotta kill the creeps as fast as possible so that they don't just punish you for fucking trying to CS. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if they punish you for trying to CS, I mean, like, you're gonna be in a negative advantage in your lane, and you always want to recall. Like, if you didn't fight him forcefully, you would have been in a favorable position in the lane because, like, no matter what happened, the Yasuo was trying to force you to fight, and you took the fights that were forced instead of just backing down. Like, if a bully provokes you, you could take the fight, but you could also choose to walk away. So the better choice was for you to walk away and not take it. Like he was hitting the wave at the same time, which means that if you chose the fight, he would continue to hit the wave at the same time, which means that he just pushes towards you. So now instead of a 1v1, it's a 2v1. And the reason why it's a 2v1 is because now all his minions, which he, like, you know, because he has more minions than you, which means that your minions die first. So now you're 2v1 against him and his minions, because his minions count as like a second champion. Admit it is considered a 2v2 lane, not because of the minions, but because of the jungler. So you also have to consider that into possibility.
Would you have suggested me roam more or just stay mid and CS?
This game, your lanes had priority, and like that means that if you can only you can only roam at 6, and in order to roam effectively, you got to push out your lane. So the only way you can push out your lane is if you kill this guy first. So every time you killed the guy, you had two options. Can I roam? Yeah? It didn't happen. The yeah didn't happen. And the reason why it didn't happen is because most of the time when you finished killing the dude, your lane wasn't in a position for it to like be optimal. So let's go find some examples of that. So you can try to kill the dude here. It didn't work, right? So you're not in position. You also have to remember the amount of health that you have. So you killed the dude here, right? That's good. That's one step towards lane priority. Now you look at the lanes. Oh, can I go dive Riven? I don't know because you never checked. And that's another thing. I don't know what's going on with the map because like you never checked your lanes to see if it's roamable. You can't roam because of your health. That's already a given. So instead, just push this lane out and just leave it. Like just you gotta go base. That's fine. But you never checked your lanes to see what was happening. You never checked to see if there's any summoners. Like, if you check the lane even for a second, even if there's nothing to be... Like, there's sometimes nothing will happen. They're just fighting in the lane. Maybe your Garen decides to engage on the Riven for some reason, and the time you look up top, you happen to see them flash. That's information. You can't, like... There's nothing lost by looking at your laners. There's always stuff to be gained and never anything to be lost.
Okay.
For example, if Riven ultis up top and you see that maybe I can go up there. Well, now Riven has no way to execute you if you guys dive and you get low on health under tower. Or let's say the reverse is true. Let's say you have Riven on your team and you have Garen. There's no way to know. Okay, Garen used ulti and Riven used E to negate it. Okay, good. That means that if I came up top there then and I get low HP and Garen attacks me, then Garen can't ulti me to finish me off. So like you consider that.
So start watching the lanes a lot more.
You have to like TF does this too. Any mid laner in general does it. Especially people that take teleport or some way to get down to bot lane, Pantheon. As Akali, a champion that is known for her like long range roams, like because like she could just press R in that huge gap closing distance. Because she's so good at roaming, like you should be watching the lanes in general because you gotta roam. And here I don't see any priority examples for it. It's like for most of the time, I'm looking for a part where you murder the Yasuo and see if there's a roam opportunity. Oh, and focus Soraka always. It's the same thing in bot lane, how bot laners don't focus Soraka. If you focus the healer and they can't heal, then like they not only lose a man, but they lose their super CC bot. Check the map and check where your laners are too.
I didn't need a flash there. I could have W'd.
Yes. Always consider if you can. You want to use your flash as a last resort, especially when it comes to dodging. So what I tell players is, if you can dodge it with your hands, aka by clicking on it, then do that. If you can't and you have to use an ability, do that as a secondary resort. And if you used your ability already, or you don't, or you think it's time to panic and like you really gotta bounce, then use the flash. So it should be clicking into spells into flash. Now if you don't have any spells to gap closing, then it's either you dodge it by your hand or you dodge it by your flash. And there's no hesitation. So here, if it's this case, like you cannot reach them by clicking on them or using using your ulti, you gotta use your W. If you can't do any of that, then you gotta use your flash. So in this case, yes, you could use your W and you can immediately jump, but you did not have to use your flash. And remember that you can save your flash for other opportunities like bigger objective control. Such as if a fight broke down a dragon or baron pit, you flash on somebody, murder them really quickly, then W out or like W away so that you like stealth into like safety.
Is there a better spot to ward mid lane rather than the two side bushes in the river? Like a little bit further in or out from the mid?
Not with a control ward, no. Because remember that control wards are visible. Your whole point is invisible wards. See this ward right here? You see the ward where it's right behind the raptor camp, or I'm sorry, the wolf camp. It's just
Yeah.
in that little bush. That's one place you can ward, but not control ward. That's a place you can ward. There's a place right behind the hill, or the little like fucking big ass wall. You can ward there too. Like it's the place where let's say like you're a mid laner, right? And then you have to walk towards blue buff, right? You know that little section in between, that little alleyway. You can ward that too over the wall. That's another example. But those wards are not control wards. Like you have to place a control ward in a bush, and it has to be a bush where your opponent walks through it, but they don't really like bother checking if there's a control ward there. Like the bush behind the wolf camp, like you can like some people will ward that defensively, so then they're like, oh hey, there's a control ward here, so they just kill it. Like you don't want to give them control ward for free, at all. Like it's not right. As for your boots, by the way, I would recommend taking like defensive boots. Like instead of sorcery shoes, unless you're super far ahead. In this case, yeah, you were ahead, but you're not like ahead to the point where you can one shot people fast enough. It takes a little bit of time, so it's better for you to get Merc Treads or Ninja Tabi. If you were a little bit further ahead, yeah, I'd say take Sword Shoes. Like maybe if you had 2 more kills and a lot more CS, hell yeah. Maybe basically if you're strong enough to have at least 2 items, or assassinate someone real quick. But they're fragile. Ninja Tabi
How
would
do you
also just increase your survivability because
how do you feel about Lich Bane?
uh, so
That's like a second or third item.
I'm 50-50 about it. Like sometimes it's good, but like you waste the sheen. Like you know what I mean? Like you kind of waste the stats. It's kind of like building Abyssal Mask when you were talking about that earlier. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like you get the fucking huge ass damage. That's fantastic. But like the whole mana portion of it is just gone to waste. Like you wasted gold, basically. You know what I mean? Like you bought the item, it does fucking nothing for the mana portion of it. Like it gives you 5 things and you waste one of it. Though it's not really that big of a deal that you wasted it, like it's still a waste. Like you can't ignore that. It is a waste of 250 mana. But I say that if you're really snowballing, again, you can build it. It's fine because your whole point is to assassinate someone really fast. And in that case, you'd have to build Sorc Shoes. So if you build Sorc Shoes now, and you already have the cloth armor, it would not be the time to build for it. Like, it would have to be like Shifter. There's a Shifter game about a month ago where he built the Lich Bane, and he was super far ahead, like very, 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 very far ahead, in order for him to build it. But he built it as a 3rd item after his Zanya, so he was afraid. I would say, I'd advocate for a solid no. But if you want to consider building it, do it when you're really far ahead and that you don't need Zanyas. Typically, you should not say I don't need Zanyas. Like Zanya should always be a part of your core, and the only reason why is because anything that gets onto you, it's another defensive item. I talked about it earlier. Just press a button and you're safe. You Gucci. Makes sense?
Yep. Also, you asked me or you said I don't know the limits of Akali yet. I don't. I actually just started like trying to one trick her. And then
You just have to keep playing her. Like eventually you will see limits. Like limits just mean that like can you execute, like if you saw in my video, like it's probably just because it's training mode, so I should turn off cooldowns and do it. But you dash in, do the full combo and dash out. Like you should be able to do it, like you should be able to reproduce results of like getting in and out of combat effectively. Like you can't just like see that you have to flash into the opponent at every instance. Your goal is to use the champion to the fullest without the usage of your summoner spells. You know what I mean? Like you're using the champion. The summoner spells are summoner spells that you can use on anybody. But like the champion's limitations are not just through the use of your summoner spells. It's through the use of your kit. So you want to use every single part of your kit to the fullest. And I said, don't use your stealth as just a stealth. Like, don't forget that it is a stealth, which means that like for a temporary amount of time, you can actually block incoming projectiles with it. So like, if a Lucian uses the fucking double auto, you can W it to negate it. If Garen ults you, you can W it to negate it if you're not silenced. I think for some reason he decides to like fucking let you breathe. It negates point and click projectiles. So that's another thing that I don't know if you know, but that's a mechanic. So if any like Qs you and it potentially is a stun Q, you can W it and run away. It'll still, I think, no, it won't hit you. It just gets negated. It depends. Like the thing is bugged, like how things work. But I know that it does the same thing down bot lane. Like I gold carded someone and the projectile flew, and sometimes it either lands or it doesn't. If there's vision in the bush, then yeah, it lands. But like I don't know. Just use your W to like hide and then counterattack. There is a delay. It's fine. People take Airy or people take Electrocute. Electrocute's a lot stronger. Airy is just more free trades. You have to play her a lot more, and you have to like think like, what is the minimum amount of effort or usage of my resources necessary to kill this opponent? Because like, when I said you don't need to use Gunblade to kill the Riven, you really didn't. Like you kind of just overused it, and then you could have just rotated mid and then used the Gunblade on someone there. You know, like it's a save of resources. But obviously that doesn't mean like don't use everything to kill them. Like just use half your things and haha they'll die by magic. No, like you can use what you need to kill them. Just don't go overboard with it. Like
Don't
like
use too much.
like the guy's fucking dead and you don't need to like you shot the guy and he's like you shot the guy twice. Once in the head and once in the chest. Walk up and check to see if he's dead. Shoot him in the head again to see if he's fucking dead or not. Don't like drop the whole load of ammo on him, you know? Like god damn, that's what we call overkill.
Yeah.
There's no point in doing that. There really isn't, but yeah. Like fuck, he's dead. Shit, let it go. Like it's like the whole Simpsons meme. Like stop, he's already dead. Jesus Christ, you don't have to beat him up anymore. Jesus Christ. Consider building. Well, Rylai's is already in your deck. You could consider building Deathcap like as a last item if you're really that far ahead. Don't build Ludens. Really wouldn't recommend it. I would rather recommend you build Void Staff for Pen. Because Pen makes it so you increase your probability of doing true damage, especially to tanks. Void Staff is always good. Leandry's is always like situational. Like Leandry's is flat. Leandry's is flat, but Void is not only cheaper, but it's also percentage. Cheaper is always better for low econ. Like if you're behind, you can't build Leandry's because it's too much money. Okay, I think that's all I got like for now. I don't think I can say I don't think I could pinpoint anything else. Good job on purchasing more control wards. Just get used to placing them at big objectives like Dragon and Baron, because you had the one and you just needed to drop it. Recognize when you and your opponents can do Baron. There's only one instance that your opponent can do Baron. Think about every single time. Think about free objectives. Don't think about taking the greed. Just a big note. So you took
Do
greed.
safe play.
Yes, because the safe play, it might not always be the right play, but it's the safest, and the one that increases your like team. It's like low risk, low rewards, and that snowballs. Think of it as putting like nickels into into your piggy bank every single day. It's fine, but it adds up. It's very small. It's very low, like low amount, you know, but it gets a high reward as they add up. Because people who like it's better to like gain like instances of small tens and never lose anything instead of gaining like a big 50 but then losing like 25 constantly. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like it's just like it's like kind of like gambling, like take the low risk, low reward.
I did that penny thing when I was a kid too, though.
Yeah, like it's the same concept. In this game, the only time it was better for you to take it was better for you to go dragon, then no, mid tower, then dragon, then bot lane, recall, go up back to mid lane or river or on top side and take an assault there towards the herald. Instead, your team greeted for the second objective and took the dragon, but then like you now have two people that are falling behind because they didn't get a chance to back. So that's a big note. So it's better to cash in too. So you got to make sure you cash in a lot because like items, replenishes, resources, maybe buy another control ward. get your health back, mana back, etc., etc. Be ready for the next battle. That's it.
All right.
Also, consider taking teleport sometimes in matchups where you look like you're about to get poked the fuck down. Yasuo doesn't count. You gotta kill him. It's more prevalent towards top lane.
Okay. Well, I thank you for your time.
Yeah.
And for the
we
second
can make this a weekly thing. Just message me next week. I should be good to go. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, typically.
Okay.
Just message me. I'll be on Skype or on Discord, especially. That's the fastest way to reach me if it's not on Skype. Twitter too, if you have the Twitter. If not, it's all good. I'm gonna close off this thing. So, yeah.
All right.
And
Thanks,
yeah,
bud.
stick with ranks. Like if you're gonna play a game and it's not normals, like just really stick with rank if you want to climb, because like normals are too like half-ass. Like half the people don't try. So
Yeah.
you have a different mentality going into normals compared to ranked, because rank does matter a lot more. All right,
All
and
right.
statistics and stuff like that. It's just for gathering data. Okay, I'll see ya.
Peace. Thanks.
Okay, guys, that was my Akali coaching session 2. This time we actually got a lot of good progress from the previous session. So, I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. This has been LOL Veggie Coaching. You may add me on these social media platforms for further coaching if you need it. See you guys next time.